You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle. Hey everyone, Jim Chester here, your host of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I have Jesse Ventoso with me. He is down in Marietta, Georgia. I'm up here in the Grand Valley of the Grand Junction area, the western slope of Colorado, where I like to say, nobody lives. And this episode is brought to you by Integrative Freedom. If you're interested in putting weight loss that actually works in your clinic, reach out to Dr. Charles Francis. He'll be able to help you out, hook, line, and sinker, get you set up for the future of a weight loss program. I know it's not chiropractic, but a lot of people get healthy through shedding some pounds. So without further ado, Jesse Ventoso, how are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, Jim. Thank you so very much for having me on today. I'm so excited to be able to share my story a little bit with you and, speak to some future DC to Bs and some docs out there.
That's cool, man. And I know you're down there, Life College in Marietta.
That's correct.
Tell me, why chiropractic? How did you decide that this was the right path for you?
Well, I'm one of those people who like to say that I didn't necessarily find chiropractic. Chiropractic definitely found me. And this is going to be a little deep. It's going to be a little bit of a long story, but it all has a purpose because I do believe that everything does happen for a reason. And there's a reason even why we're having this interview right here, right now, while I'm down at Life University. And it all starts here. I grew up in New Jersey, right outside of New York City, probably like the most populated place environmentally, like in the entire world. The amount of cars going down my street every day. Video games are booming at the time. Fast food is around every single corner you could possibly imagine, where every night you're either going to Wendy's or Burger King and you're just mixing up the different restaurants. I say all that because I was one of the most unhealthiest people you could probably ever imagine. My entire family was. I didn't know what health was. I didn't know what vitalism was. I just knew that if I was feeling something, I had to take something externally in order to feel well. And that kind of all really started to boil down to a head when I was 7 years old. And I ended up losing 3 of my 4 grandparents before my 8th birthday. Everyone just started to drop like flies. My grandfather had a heart attack. My grandmother died of breast cancer. I just couldn't even comprehend what was happening. And throughout the next couple of years, I had an uncle die of another heart attack, and I had an aunt die of a weird disease that only like 2% of the population gets in the entire country per year. And I'm sitting here thinking like, well, what is going on? While all this is happening, as I said, I'm probably in the worst place to live in the entire world in terms of like living healthy. And I'm eating fast food every day. I'm playing these video games, and I am just growing and growing and growing and growing. And I'm seeing my own health manifest in the way that I see in my own family members. And now I'm seeing everyone just, not for nothing, but drop like flies. And I'm in the 8th grade. I'm 14 years old, and I weigh 200 pounds. And, it's not average. You're morbidly obese at that point for sure. And I had one of the hardest days that anyone could possibly ever have in their life, especially as a 14-year-old. I get home and my mom came into my room the way that she always did when someone ended up passing away. I knew what it was like. She would close the door, she would start to weep, and she would just say, "Jesse, I need to talk to you." And this time it just felt different. I'm like, "Ma, who was it? Like, who was it now? What could have possibly have happened?" She goes, "No, Jesse, I was diagnosed with breast cancer today." And I just got this chill just running through my spine. At 14 years old, I had no idea how to comprehend this. I knew that I was unhealthy. I knew all my other family members weren't healthy. I saw the outcome that they had. And now I'm sitting here looking at my mom, who was a single mom, by the way. My parents were divorced at a super young age, so it was just always me and her. And she's standing in front of me and telling me that she has this condition that as a 14-year-old, I knew would probably end her life. And that's where everything just started to change for me. Our entire perspective. She was diagnosed. She went through this entire thing, radiation, chemotherapy, surgeries, everything that you name it. And I saw her go from this completely mechanistic lifestyle into a vitalism one, not even knowing what vitalism was. Seeing her juice every day, get healthy, exercise, lose weight, defy all the odds that these doctors at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital in New York were telling her. She said that the doctors had said that she probably should have passed away within 6 months. And she ended up living for 8 years. And it was all because of all these different things that she was doing. And that all came to a head because I saw her do it. So that made me do it. And when I was a ripe 18-year-old, I was 340 pounds. And I decided at this point, I need to lose all the weight. So I started to get healthy with her. And within the last years of her life, I ended up losing 150 pounds. So I started to get all this different stuff going through like my mind. I started to say, wait, you can beat disease. You're defying the odds for some of the best doctors in the entire country. You yourself are able to lose 150 pounds without any surgery, just by changing your diet, just by changing like the way that you exercise, by changing the way that you live, no matter where you're living. And that all just came to fruition during my undergrad in college when I was studying to become an exercise science major. And I said, wait, there has to be more. It all comes down to this. One day, I was with someone at the time who had said, Jesse, I really think you should check out a chiropractor's office. I went for the first time. They seem to like really jive with you, like in the things that you believe in. They're all about healthy eating. They're all about exercising. And I was like, but those are the guys you go to when you get into a car accident. Why would I ever want to go to them? I don't want them touching my neck. There's no way. And I finally went into an office that I probably have passed every day of my life for 20 years, right down the street from me. And just like that, I heard the chiropractic message. It was just your standard report of findings. True healing comes from the above down, inside out. We want to clear your subluxations. We want your brain communicating with the rest of the body, everything that we know and love. And just like a snap of my fingers, it all made sense. And I said, how has no one ever told me this before? And within 2 weeks of that, I had put in my Deposit for Life University without even visiting the school. I just said, I know this is what I need to do. This is exactly what my mom had said. This is the lifestyle that I've been living. And this is exactly what I need to dive into right now. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So next lead in is how old were you when you had your first adjustment?
When I had my first adjustment, I was 22 years old.
Wow.
So I've only been getting adjusted and subluxation free for about 3 years. So sometimes I think, oh, if I was a Chiro kid and I was unsubluxated for 25 years of my life, where would I be today? But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason.
No, I think that that's vitally important to tell people about. It doesn't mean that you have to have chiropractic in your life long term in order for you to get integrated into the chiropractic profession. And I know that you said that our pre-chat, you're a ninth quarter student. And you're embarking upon a future in chiropractic, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that as the conversation goes. But let's talk a little bit about becoming the first doctor in your family, what that means to you.
Becoming the first doctor in my family, especially with the story I just described with my mom passing away because of cancer, everything it's every moment in my life has led up to this. And I don't even think I could like put into words, like my voice is almost trembling. My hands are almost shaking, just thinking what that means to me, because the reason why I'm in chiropractic today, or why chiropractic found me, is because I know I'm going to be able to share my story and be that doctor that there wasn't for my mom or for other people in her position. And it's going to mean the world to me to be able to save someone else, to possibly be a part of someone else's life and provide that for them. That way they don't have to go through what I did.
Yeah, man, that's it's very impactful, and I think that that's definitely something that you get to give as a gift as you become the doctor. And we always say the doctor of the future will give no drugs, but the doctor of the future, I think, will also heal with their hands. Yeah. And I think that that's the most beautiful thing about chiropractic, and the hair on my arms is standing up right now saying that, because I do think that the doctor of the future is the chiropractor. But not only the future, but the present. And now you have all the ability in your life to make those changes for people. And, you know, weight loss is a huge avenue of success in this world. And we look at so many people, the fit ones are the ones that get the breaks. They're the ones that get the opportunities. They're the ones that get that can teach, and they can, you know, become more effective with their messages. So, you know, kudos to you for taking your health journey seriously. And, you know, just having Integrative Freedom as our sponsor today, I had no idea that it was going to be such an impactful sponsor today, because they are a weight loss program and they do teach people how to live the 4-dimensional lifestyle. And if you know, if you have all 4 legs of the stool on the ground, you're living healthy. But if you pull one of them up, you fall over. And I think that that's a good analogy, talking about where you were, and you had all 4 on the ground, but how secure were they?
Not very secure. If anything, they were just willing or just getting ready to break at any moment because of the huge weight that was holding all of it up. So definitely feel a lot better now, I can say this. And I mean, just that journey within itself changed my life. Like, even if it wasn't for my mom, you know, losing all that weight and becoming healthy and seeing how a diseased body could actually become well in 2 years of living the correct lifestyle, it makes all the difference.
So course correction is vitally important for anybody out there listening, whether you are in the DC program, whether you're just one of my friends on Facebook that watches this. If you watch this on replay, if you do want help on your health journey, reach out to us. We can definitely give you some guidance along your journey as well. And I know the next question is going to help a lot of Chiro students out there. What did you do to prepare yourself for this program at Life? I think that that's going to help a lot of people out.
Yeah, like I said, I had only been involved in chiropractic for maybe 6 months before I started school. I was involved in a little internship where I just observed some adjustments. So I kind of got it, but I didn't really. And I knew when I got to school, I had to just listen to mainly the upperclassmen, people with experience who were going to be able to tell me exactly what I should do. I'm a person who loves to take advice from other people. So when they said, go to this club, go to AMPS, go to the Pierce Result System, go to as many things as you possibly can. That way you're able to equip yourself. So I said, okay, you know what? I am going to dive as deep as humanly possible into anything and everything. And I think within my first 2 or 3 quarters, I visited all but 4 clubs on campus. So I made sure that I got involved and I created communities around myself. That way I had a network of people to go back to see exactly where I wanted to be once I had all of this mass information collected.
So now that you're there, how many years have you been at Life too?
I've been at Life for 2 years and 3 months.
Okay, so you started getting adjusted 2 years, 3 months ago, been in chiropractic school for the same amount of time. What are you learning by being in school, and how's the journey treating you?
The journey is absolutely everything. I love it down here at Life University, mainly because we are at the hub of everything chiropractic. In terms of big docs coming into the area or seminars, we have that opportunity available to absolutely anything and like everyone. Like to see Danny Knowles come down here, or to see Ryan Bones coming down here next week to teach one of the classes at Life. We just have an extensive amount of people that we have these resources to be open up to. As far as like the schooling itself, I'm one of those people who will tell you, I am a seminar junkie. I go to as many external learning things that I possibly can. And that's not because I don't value my education in school. I absolutely love it. If it wasn't for the education I got at Life, I obviously wouldn't be where I'm at today. But I like to dive just a little bit deeper. I want to know exactly where these docs who have been in practice for like 30 or 40 years and see exactly how they translated the way that they live their lives to the way that like where they are today. And I would say what Life University has prepared me the most for is to be the most dynamic, vitalistic chiropractor that I possibly can be because of everything that they teach and the philosophy that we live while at school.
Yeah, that's super important. And what are you doing to get the most out of it? I know you said you joined in some groups and you you're an advocate of seminars. Which seminars have you gone to, and how has that helped shape who you are right now?
I love communication and I love adjusting. So I've been to a little bit of both, mainly the communication stuff because that's a little bit more of my strong point. So I'll start there. Anything and everything under the sun. I've been to Cal Jam, I've been to Mile High, I've been to multiple Life Visions and had the opportunity to speak at Life Vision Montreal last year in April. And what all of those things were able to teach me was the philosophy and just how to incorporate that into your life, whether it be working out and exercising correctly. Eating correctly, And that's where I learned all of that. But now transitioning into my last years of practice, I'm like, wait, if this is a philosophy and a science and an art, I got the philosophy down, got the science down from all these different seminars, like the Pierce Result System, or that was like mainly the one that I had went to. I had said, okay, I really need to work on this third leg of the art. And that's where everything kind of changed for me. Because being at Life University, we have every club imaginable. Like there's just so much you can learn from. And there's one club on campus where I was a little, how can we put this? A little afraid almost to join. They were the exact opposite of everything that I had wanted, because I was very much like BJ. You need your instrumentation, you need your video fluoroscopy, you need your x-ray in order to identify and find the subluxation. And that all changed for me a couple of months ago, because I went to a seminar, one that I didn't think I was ever going to find myself into, and it was called the Artful Convention. And that was out in California, and that was put on by Chiro's Training Culture and Brett Jones, Lance Von Stade, and a couple of really awesome docs. And the reason why I had went to that seminar was because the Chiro's Training Culture it's a movement in our school or within chiropractic that is just pushing people to the very, very limits. And coming from New Jersey and being in New York all the time, we were always taught, just don't even look at anyone. Just keep your eyes down. Don't make eye contact. They're strangers, whatever. And what they have allowed me to do is finally be able to take everything that I learned in the communication aspect of chiropractic. Being at that Dynamic Essentials 8 times, I've always heard, you need to love on your patients. You need to love on them, love on them, love on them. And I just thought, okay, I'll give as many hugs as humanly possible. I'll give them kisses if they want. I'll love on anyone and everyone. And that's what I thought it was until the Artful Convention. And just this weekend, we did a Foundations Level 1 training down here at Life University. It was the largest one that they've held so far. And I think it was the first time where I was able to put into physical movement what it actually meant to love on the person. It doesn't have to mean that you give them hugs and you're giving them kisses and you're giving them all these things. What they are able to teach and able to provide is how to just let the person be a complete piece. Let the person know, I am here for you. I am your doctor. This is exactly how I'm going to deliver the adjustment that you need to save your life. And the reason why I was scared, the reason why I was intimate about it was because I didn't think there was anything to it. I thought they were just all touchy-feely until I really experienced and dove into that culture and realized, wait, this is what everyone was talking about when they said love on your patients. This is what everyone was talking about when they said that you need to just be one with them. So it was a really cool experience for me to be able to take all these extensive experience that I have and finally just like put them into this massive one ball that was just perfectly woven and now just like ready to explode. It's been really cool.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro's Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle.
So from what you're saying, as I've gathered, is you've learned the schooling, which gives you the science. You've learned the philosophy by being around the DE group, which is old school dogmatic chiropractic, which is, there's nothing better than that. And you said you've been at 8 of those. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. And now you're training with the Chiros culture, which I think gives you certainty. And I think that those are some things with self-esteem. I found that many doctors, even the greatest adjusters out there, are the greatest minds out there, they struggle with that one missing link, and that's the self-esteem approach. Do you think that being around the Chiros culture gave that to you?
I absolutely do. And that's the thing that was scary for me to admit, because I've been a leader of technique clubs for 2 years, and I had to completely change my entire way of thinking. And I thought I was certain what I was doing. I thought I had everything planned out for the 2 years, being as involved as I was. And then I just had my mind completely blown a couple of months ago at the Artful Convention and being involved with these guys and seeing exactly where they're able to bringing those 3 legs together and providing it to students like that.
Wow, that's it just goes to show that we're not done and we're just getting started.
That's exactly
And
what it is.
and as you go through this program, when you finish your chiropractic degree, what does the profession look like to you in 5 years while you're out there practicing?
Well, all right. I have big plans, Jim. Very, very, very big plans. Because I want to take that certainty that I've been given. I want to be able to take that communication that I was given, and I want to just shake things from the top. If I'm being honest, not to say that I don't pay attention in school. Any instructor at Life University who may be watching this, I am so sorry. I promise I pay attention in your class. But what I like to do sometimes is look at different state laws. I like to see what's going on in chiropractic, what kind of regulations are being pushed through, and what legislations are being proposed. I like to be as educated as I possibly can about those topics. And sometimes I see stuff like being out in Idaho and allowing injectable vitamins. And I don't want to go on an entire principled
Let's do
chiropractic
it.
rant.
Let it rip, brother. Let it rip.
Let me buckle in. All right. I think the chiropractic lifestyle is absolutely awesome, but I think what we confuse the most is the chiropractic lifestyle and chiropractic. Because when people come into my doors, I want them to understand that there's nothing more powerful than the chiropractic adjustment. I obviously think people should work out. I obviously think that people shouldn't be taking medications. But at the end of the day, I want people to understand that it is the adjustment that is going to get them better. That's where I'm going to go with this. When I see injectable vitamins or we want to prescribe and just these horrible things, I think to myself, I need to be in charge. There has to be someone else up there who is writing this legislation. Within 5 years, Jim, I want to somehow make it to my congressional level in my state. I want to be able to be one of those people who's going to be able to put ink to paper and write, no, I'm not going to be that person who's going to allow the future of chiropractic to just go in this awful place. If that means that I need to step away from my practice 2 or 3 days a week in order to serve those people, I would rather get out of my office, just hire an awesome team of docs that's able to work alongside with me and understand the mission that we're all on and be able to be there for it, because I see all these awesome people. And one of the people I look up to the most is Tim Young. He has an awesome practice. He's thousands of people a week and is still the president of his association. Why is every principled chiropractor in a certain state not at that same position? And I know it's all about time. I know it's about family. It's important to me too. But at the same time, there's nothing more important than spreading the message of chiropractic to each and every single person available. And we have to do that at the top, not in our offices. Sorry.
No, please.
I got to get to
keep
Congress.
going.
Let's do it. We need to get to legislation. We need to be able to rewrite these laws, because when we allow these guys or these docs, or I don't want to be disrespectful, but just these people with different opinions, we then look at things like the ACA x-ray laws, and it blows my mind. It really does, because how could you possibly say that you're not able to take an x-ray on someone if it's not, if there's no grounds for it for 6 months? And I couldn't read it back to you to a T, because honestly, it got 3 points down and I just got frustrated. I just said, whoa, there's no way I'm ever going to allow this to happen. We need to be able to make change, and it starts from the top, and I want to be there for it.
Well, you're getting a lot of support here on this feed. I'm just going to dive into a few of the comments and share some of the people that are responding to you and supporting you on this live feed. I don't know how to spell or pronounce Laura's last name. Maybe you do. Nukatola. Yeah, she says, you're amazing, brother. Dylon Mon says, drop the mic. Amber Mahid, speak it into existence. Jamal Fruster says, the biggest plans. Let's go, brother. Jordan Fairley says, thanks for sharing, Jesse. Seth Storment says, let's go, Jesse. I mean, you got so much support here. Andy Hawkins, grateful for students like Jesse, excited to connect with you again soon. Thanks for hustling, Jim. Joe Bretsky says, hey, Jesse. And Brad Elliser, who runs a podcast called Kids Eating Broccoli, another healthy-centered podcast out there. Brad says, I never had been to a chiropractor before I decided to go to chiropractic school as well. And Alan Waddell, he's out there at Palmer Davenport, and he says, hey, Jim, keep it up. Thanks for sharing your story, Jesse. So we've gotten a lot of great comments coming through. Dude, you have so much support. Brett
I'm going to start blushing, honestly. Like, I don't know. My cheeks might be red.
Brett Jones says, thanks for the love, Jesse. Great to see your passion. Sam Buckley, love it, Jesse. Mohammed Saman, this morning session got your intention on fire, lightning bolts. Tim McFadden just got on, fired up. DC to be. Aaron Oliver, yes, Jesse, we're behind you all the way. Dude, you got so much support out there. I think that the world is just opening up for you. Jordan says adjusting ninjas around the world support each other. And I think that your episode is just dropping a lot of light on people and giving people all the necessary need to understand that you are somebody that is adapting into the advocacy position for chiropractic. And, we all wear different hats. I don't adjust people with my hands, but I adjust people with the message. And I think that we all need to realize that it's bigger than one of us, that, like they said, we support you and I support you as well. So if there's anything that's going on down your line of your chiro career that I can absolutely help with, please use me for my advocacy and my megaphone of what I've worked so hard to attain.
No, maybe we'll have to do a second interview or something. I just feel like we can just keep on just going at it all day long. But all those people, they know what this process has been for me. They knew what it would be like for me to be able to come out in a public forum and actually state these things. Because, Jim, I was that person that first year in school, like, I knew exactly what I wanted. The subluxation can only be seen on video fluoroscopy. That you have to have exact, just all these different things. And just to have this change of thinking and this shift in perspective, it's been really powerful for me. And all those guys that you just mentioned have been there for that journey. It's been really awesome for it.
That's awesome.
Just this morning at training, one of the intentions that one of the facilitators had put out there was, and it made me just tingle almost, and it's doing it again right now. You're going to be given a platform in order to express exactly what you're feeling. And that was this morning. And it just made me think, oh my goodness, this interview today is just going to be so powerful. And I could say we're there.
So one last question for you. If you go back in time and talk to your younger self, as soon as you were getting into the chiropractic program, what would you tell yourself?
Don't be so thick-headed. Don't be so thick-headed. Don't think that you have it all figured out, because just when you think you have a plan, you have to completely rip it apart and then build on a new one. If I can just go back to first quarter Jesse, I would say to just don't be afraid to open up, because I think that's the problem that we have in chiropractic. We're afraid to be intimate. We're afraid to be vulnerable. We're afraid to be open. Just free yourself up. That's what I would tell myself. Go to as many things as possible.
And then we'll wrap it up with, if there was one thing you would tell a student right now that's maybe 1 quarter or 2 quarter, 3 quarter that might be struggling with their headspace, what would you tell them?
You need to just get the philosophy. You need to nail it inside of you. If it doesn't burn you inside each and every single time that you walk into a chiropractor's office or you walk into school, just knowing that one day that is going to be you, you need to just do it. You need to be able to get out there and share your message, because there is a person for everyone. And what I mean by that is there are people waiting for your message. They're literally right here, right now. I know at 12/29 on February 20th, there's someone out there in some state that needs my help. You need to own that, understand it, and then get after it, because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going. And be open.
So probably people have heard me share this before, but I have 2 mentors that have helped me get to where I am right now. And the first one that I resented for a long time told me if I just get out of my own way, I could change the world. And I think that's what you're saying to everybody else out there that's listening.
For sure. Thank you for simplifying that for me.
And to wrap it up, my other mentor, people probably heard me say this before too, but stop taking what people give you and start taking what you want. And I think that sums up what you've said today too, is, stop taking what people are pushing as an agenda for the chiropractic profession and go take the power back and own the power and own the message and own the adjustment.
Absolutely. You just basically took my long-winded 20-minute answers, simplified it into 4 sentences. You did. That's perfect. Yes, you got it.
Well, I think everybody out here is really supportive of you, man. I didn't realize how great of a support team you had and how hard you've actually worked to get to where you are right now. It's just been an honor to get to know you, and I look forward to having a really strong future with you. And like I said, if I can be a positive resource for you on any level, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time. And I would love to have you back on the show again and to share how things are going once you progress with this journey. And if, like I said, anybody wants more information from either one of us, reach out to us. If you're watching this on replay and you have a question for Jesse or myself, please put it in the comments below. And I'm just going to read a couple more of these comments that came through. The chills running through me are so real. Free yourself up. Your open heart is beautiful, Jesse. Open your heart. You didn't tell me this was your interview, LOL. Your growth is outstanding, Jesse. So, I mean, the people out there that are like in your corner, you're going to be a winner, dude. I think that, I think that the message is real. I think your passion is real, and I can't wait to see what you're going to accomplish once you hit that diploma.
Thank you so very much, Jim. It's all part of the process. It's really, really exciting. And just thank you for also like what you do, because thank you for giving us this opportunity, this avenue to be able to share and express. You're absolutely right. I have the greatest people in the entire world who are just surrounding me, and it's that community that keeps us going.
It amazes me, dude. Like, I'm so proud of you for building such a team, and I'm so proud of you for being in such a strong culture. And I'm just going to close out by saying thank you to Integrative Freedom for being our sponsor today. And thank you for your personal journey and sharing today, Jesse. And anybody that does have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And just everybody out there, have a blessed rest of your day. And I'll be on here very shortly again. So keep Chiro hustling.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, we'll see you, Jesse.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.